Hello everyone and welcome back. We have a new 4.2 PTU patch to check out today, and we have some further interesting changes and new additions and things that I'm sure that many of you will be happy about, including scripts being able to be traded for favors again. We have some trades to Wikelo recipes we're going to take a look at. We have the addition of bomb racks to in-game shops. We'll try and go find some of those, and some other bug fixes and some interesting stuff that we're going to check out. So let's go ahead and get straight into it. Now, before we get into anything else, I have noticed, so right now I have the radiation suit on. If you hadn't noticed before, on the helmet of this suit, it looks like your light is kind of up in the middle here, and it's a bit bigger than maybe you'd have on a normal helmet. Well, previously that had been just kind of the same normal flashlight on the helmet, but in this build, that has changed. So if we go into this kind of dark area, we toggle our light, look at that. We have a much brighter and wider headlamp. So you should be able to see this. This should help with visibility to a pretty good degree, I would say, especially on Pyro 1 when it's really dark in those storms. So really good to see that change. I do want to actually try, though, and see if this happens to be the case on other armors. It's like a normal armor. So let me switch my gear out really quick, and then let's see if that is also the case. Okay, so now we just got some Morozov, or Moz, or whatever, however you say it, some more normal armor on. So let's go over to the same dark area, and let's see, is the flashlight changed on this? It has not. So the flashlight is the same on the normal armor, so you definitely have an advantage in wearing that radiation suit. You get the much brighter and wider spotlight there, so we'll have to see how that plays out in terms of being with the actual locations to see if it's actually very useful. But really nice little change that actually was not mentioned in the patch notes from what I saw. So that's just one little thing I noticed. Now we're going to go over a few general patch note things, and then we'll talk about some specific stuff that we are going to go take a look at. Okay, so now we're just going to go over a few general things. Under gameplay, there has been further Stormbreaker and AST location polish, further FPS AI, Stormbreaker facility nav mesh improvements to help with navigation including in and out of spawn closets, and obstacle avoidance, adjusted ASD shuttle navigation splines and air shield shader, further Lazarus Complex exterior cover polish, fine-tuned transition rules for Worm combat music, and created a submix change on the playlists for Storm and the tracks for the Valakar. Further Stormbreaker density manager optimizations for AI Corpse and abandoned vehicle cleanup at ASD locations. Vehicles in the area that are abandoned will be cleaned up after 2 hours. Really hoping that helps with the server performance and the client performance, just cleaning up those like blown up vehicles and stuff. The AI getting their adjustments and stuff as well. Hopefully those will make some noticeable improvements to the new locations. So excited to see how well that helps. And then we have Apex Valakar Polish, just a really slight thing, Apex Valakar Weak Spot Splash of VFX Polish, and some Radiation Polish. Radiation now displays rounded values for environmental emission, suit protection, and total radiation. So it should give you a little bit better indication of the armor or the suit or whatever you're wearing, how well it will protect you, and all the factors that go into that. And then a couple of other little things under ships and vehicles. They have slightly reduced the Argo Atlas Geo-ICTY landing dust effect, just a very small thing there. Under weapons and items, the Volt Shotgun VFX polish, they've done some of that to make impacts more impactful. And under Core Tech, we have further server performance optimizations. So that's all the kind of the littler things in these patch notes. So now we are going to talk about the couple of larger things in this patch, as well as there's been a really good bug fix we're going to test out later in regards to Oxypens not having, they weren't working for a long time. We're going to test out, apparently that has been fixed. But let's go ahead. We're going to talk about Wikelo's changes and him still allowing you to trade him scripts. So, in the patch notes, it says Wikelo Collection Polish. Updated Wikelo recipe and favors menus with Mercenary Scrip, Council Scrip, and Karenite. Added back in the ship battle favor conversions. So, let's go ahead and let's take a look at our collection missions for Wikelo. And let's see what has changed. So, we'll start by just going through these. So super useful ship parts. I don't think this has changed interceptor helmets, 1 favor. Panthers, the Zappy gun, more wood-like, doesn't seem to have changed. So we have our worm parts for favors. That's the irradiated Valacar pearls. Make Atlas shoot. Don't see anything having changed there. Nothing either for the Copian skull gun. So I know I had seen something else change though. Let's see, this might be slightly new for the want big ship, but not too big. We have 16 favors and 15 ace interceptor helmets. Let's see. Do you have anything changing on the Polaris one? I think they may have made maybe some slight adjustments to the ore, possibly. But otherwise that seems about the same. So an interesting thing here is we do actually have, you can turn Karenite into favors now as well, in addition to the Scrip. So you have that, turn things to favor, and then we have trade council Scrip for favors and trade mercenary Scrip for favors. So really, really nice to see that change. I know a lot of people had been not super enthusiastic about it being just the Valacar stuff because that's going to be overall just pretty difficult to get. So, and it's going to be most likely a pretty PvP heavy area in the next patch. So a lot of people that don't really like doing that or don't have a big group to play with, it's going to be really difficult for them to get those. So I'm really glad that they listened to that feedback and added these ways in. And the Karenite one's a bit of a surprise as well. So if you like doing the Karenite mining, you can do that. Or you can keep doing your ship missions to get the scripts. So there's not like according to this, there should not be, you don't need to be super worried about your scripts being worthless in the next patch. You'll still be able to do it, and it's still for just the 50 script per favor. So yeah, really good to see that change. I'd love to see what any of you think in the comments. Feel free to let me know if you think this is good. Do you think maybe they shouldn't have done this? I don't know. If you have any thoughts on that, feel free to let me know down below. So next we have another change that is really good, and I was afraid that they might have actually forgotten to add these in, but under ships and vehicles, they have added the Bearing CST-313 Castillo bomb racks to the PU shops, center mass, etc. So we're going to go check that out, go test that out a little bit, make sure those will apply correctly. I don't see any indication that they have added any additional ships that those can be equipped to, but we're going to go check out buying those, see how much those cost, and then we'll take a look at a couple of other little things. Alright, here we are at the center mass at Area 18. So we're going to check out and see if we can get some of the bomb racks, bombs, and see what we can equip them to. So, well, there's a blank category here. Does that have anything? Placeholder? There we go. There they are. Okay, so we have the CST-313 Castillo, size 3 bomb rack. It looks like each one is going to be just under 31,000 AUEC. That can hold a single size 3 bomb. So I'm going to go ahead and just buy a couple of those. We're going to test that. And then let's take a look at our weapons. We got our bombs. So we got our Thunderball bomb. Those are 10,500 each. It's kind of surprising that those are actually cheaper, quite a bit cheaper than the rack itself. So I don't know. We'll go ahead and we'll buy some of those as well. So there are those. They do appear to be available at center mass, at least in Area 18. I'd assume the other center mass locations, possibly some other weapon shops. We will have to see for sure. But now we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of testing to see what we can put these bomb racks on, if anything has changed with that. All right, let's go ahead. Open up our Moby Glass. Now, I did call, I believe one ship that you can already put these on, I believe is the F7A Mark II. So let's go ahead and take a look at our weapons. We can change those missile racks. So we can put on, I believe, 2 of these bomb racks. You can carry 2 of those. So those will equip on there. So we'll go ahead and save that. So that works. Nothing too crazy there. And then I did want to try the Gladiator, because the Gladiator should be able to carry these. It isn't, as far as I know, officially able to carry them, but I did want to see just in case. And it does not look like we have the option to put on those bomb racks still for the Gladiator. So it's probably still just the same list of ships previously that were listed as being compatible with those. But really hoping we get some either further bomb racks or changes so that the Gladiator can carry those, because I think that would really help it to excel more in its role as kind of a torpedo bomber slash, traditional bomber. So we'll have to see if we get some changes with that. But I am glad that they are at least in the shops now, and hopefully we don't see bomb racks being sold again on the pledge store. But glad that we're just able to get them in game now. Alrighty, and last of all today, we are going to check out a big bug fix for Oxypen. So in the potential fixes for Oxypens, it says Oxypen only refills oxygen by a small percentage or none at all. So I've just been running around out here on this pad at Checkmate for a while, just intentionally depleting my oxygen. I'll probably let it go down to maybe 5% or so, and then we are going to test out an Oxypen. We'll see how much one gives you. I don't know if it's going to be like 25 or 50 or something like that. I doubt one will fully fill your oxygen again, but we'll give it just a couple more seconds here, and then we'll see if that's actually working. All right, okay, we've got our oxygen down to 5%. Got an Oxypen in our hand. My guy is flipping the Oxypen around. But let's go ahead and see how much it gives us. Oh, okay, hold on. The little icon went away. We'll open our Mobi-Glass. It looks like it may have basically fully replenished our oxygen, actually. So if that's the case, that is a huge deal, because that makes it so you can stay out in the hazardous environments and have just a couple of Oxypens with you, and you can survive for a long time with that. So really good to see that has been fixed again. It seems like initially that just one Oxypen will completely refill your oxygen, or like basically completely refill it. So really good to see that. If you have any thoughts on that, let me know in the comments. Do you think it should fully replenish the oxygen? Should it be maybe half of it or 25? I don't know. If you have any thoughts on that, feel free to let me know. But that is everything that I have in this video that's in the latest 4.2 PTU patch. So not a ton of new stuff to take a look at, but the things that are there, very, very interesting. Again, the Wikelo changes, the Oxypen, the bomb racks being added. Really good to see all of that being put into the game. If there's any other changes that you would like to see in 4.2, feel free to let me know what you think down in the comments. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. And until next time, I will see you in the verse.